That's right, guys. Day 20 of the boot camp, man. You guys made it this far. Congratulations, bro. That's literally 20 episodes, 20 days locked in straight in a row. Hopefully you haven't skipped any episodes. Hopefully you haven't missed any episodes. If you guys did, shame on you. Go back and then come back here. Alright. So but for you guys that watched it all the way, or you're just joining, if you're just joining on this episode day 20, if you're just joining on the day 20 and you haven't watched all the previous 19th episode, restart. Go back to day 1. Alright, trust me, you guys, I know a lot of you guys want to just come here for this video or watch another guy or my other episodes on NQ. Alright, this is for the boot camp. I would say it's only for the people that made it this far into the boot camp. Alright, so with that being said, EQ. What exactly is EQ? It's an equalizer. A lot of you guys most likely should be familiar with the EQ. It might look something like this. Alright, it's normally like a band that goes up, down, in the middle. Alright, something like that. Or if you guys are using FL Studio EQ, you guys might see something like this. Basically the same thing, just with a lot more dots, a lot more things you can work with. Thinking like your headphone settings or like Spotify settings, they also have this equalizer. If I change this, you see there's many ways to change your EQ. Some of you guys might have done this on like your AirPods, that I know like some of them are like good, sound better when you EQ them. Like if you're a gamer and you're like into like hearing certain sounds, you might have EQ'd your headphones before. But basically EQ can change what your audio sounds like. So if we pay attention to here, we have like your sub, basically like your low bass, your regular bass, your low mids, your high end, and like it says like your, I guess, pristine audio, and like treble. I don't know what PRS means, I'll be honest. But if I were to put it in my own words, what that means, basically I would just dissect it into 3 parts like it was here on this one. The low, the middle, and the high. So what exactly is a low? A low note is like, I don't know if that came through the mic, but basically a bass. So let's play this note. Alright, if I go higher. Alright, that's still bassy, believe it or not. If we go up higher. It's more like, oh, it's more like kind of like middle kind of. It's still in the basic area, trust me. Because if we look here, if we look at the key on the left, it starts at C4. I don't know why C4, but you see that? There we go, higher, high end. There we go, even higher. The low to be like an 808. So we put this on here. Here the 808s or the bass is getting here. Alright, a lot of those are getting there. And you see this one kind of got like a little kick, a little click to it. So you see a little bit there. Then you get that one sound. If I boost this up here, you see that a little bit of high frequencies. But most of your basses, there's another rumble in there, are low end. You see this got like a little weird sound going on here. This one also does a little bit punchy. Alright, low end. If we go for something like hi-hat. Alright, see that? It's on the treble high end area. If we click on the kick, it's going to be around here actually. You see, it's not as it was where it was going up here. It's a little bit more here. Alright, it's taking up like this general area. Still a little bit here, but not as much. Let's see. Let's put this on here, heavy. Alright, focus on where that's at. Versus 808s. Alright, there's a lot more here. Alright, a lot of it goes all the way to the back. Versus the kick, it kind of rolls off back here. But it's still kind of the same. let's take a look at where the sounds of the beat. So we look at here. At the bass. The instrument that this is. And goes out to here. Oh look, there's a hi-hat we talked about. Alright, you hear that? And let's do it like this, where I will cut out only this here. You hear that? We cut out some sound of the instrument a little bit, so they all blend, right? And the audio doesn't take only one line spectrum. There's a little more here. You can mainly hear only the hi-hats, pretty much. Barely a little bit too. Here's a little bit of the higher instruments. They're gone the other way. I go this way. I don't hear the hi-hat anymore. I hear the class, but not the hi-hat. If I do even more, I barely hear the clap. Barely. If I do even more, I can barely hear the clap a little bit, but barely. Now I can't even hear the clap anymore. And see, this part has no bass. There you go, there's the bass. You guys can't hear it. Let me boost out. Alright, you guys hear that? Alright, we're gonna hit that. And let's see, where does my voice sit for recording? It's like around here. Right? It's not a lot here. If I do boost this, if I say S, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. Alright? Here we go. One night, alright. No, I just want to spend like one night. Alright, you hear that? So, this is the EQ. This is one form of EQ. What is another form of EQ? This is another form of EQ. You can't see it, but it's broken down into a different section. Let's remove the high pass and focus on this. Low frequency, that's the LF. Low mid frequency, MF. High mid frequency, HMF. And high frequency, HF. Oh, if we go back and see what we see here. This here is basically the blue one. I want to let you know, high frequencies, the low frequencies, they only move like this. Versus these, they move up differently. That does not look the same like this. This looks like a mountain. This looks like a hill. Also, if I do this, if I come down here, I can make the mountain wider, very thin, like that. That's a little complicated, alright? All you gotta know is the ends normally move like this, only. You can do it differently, but we'll get to that later. Alright, this is voiceover. I'll be honest, at this part I started yapping on like stuff that is like way too advanced. But basically what I was saying is that if you focus on the numbers, the little numbers on the bottom knob for the bottom EQ, I was basically matching those numbers with the bands that you see on the top EQ. And basically replicating what it would look like if we were to closely match both EQs and movement. If that's already confusing, don't worry about it. Most of you guys should be using something like this or this, Pro Q4. We talked about that in the couple episodes on where to get plugins. So basically, with that, there's a lot of things going on. Same thing, but this is smoother, it's better. So all you guys gotta know is basically broken down into 3 sections, sometimes 4 sections. See this? 1 decline, 2 decline, 3 decline. Dividing this into the first 1, 2, 3, 4. Low frequency, low mids, high frequency. So, how should you EQ your vocals? Well, something that you gotta learn over time. So, let's remove all EQs. Let's mute them. Everything that has to do with the EQ. This is what my music would sound like. I just wanna spend like one night. What I do instead of the highs. I just wanna spend like one night. What I do instead of the highs. I hope you. Alright. That was okay, but it's not that good. Recording everything that was here originally, what I did here, this is getting printed on, so I can't undo that to show what it sounds like. But I can show you guys through here. since this is off, right? If I go, yeah, versus on. Yeah. Sounds a little brighter, cleaner, a little tightened, less muffled a little bit. And I did that. By your TV. I don't even think you can hear it on YouTube. You can barely hear that. There we go here. It's barely noticeable. But it's barely noticeable if I turn it off. Yeah. But it sounds a tad bit cleaner. Then we have this one. This right here. This area. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I turn this off. Yeah. It sounds more when I go, yeah. And we have this one right here. Yes. Yeah. Makes it a little brighter. Just a little bit. Alright, so basically right now, what we just did was clean it up a little bit, tighten it up, make it sound a little sharper. Not a whole lot. We're not there yet. Then we go on to the second EQ. Let's turn it on. Yeah. Okay, our volume just went softer. Why is that? We just removed a lot more frequencies. And we did that because some of the things that we did later had to come back and compensate through here. So what did I do? First of all, I made the low end. I removed it a little bit more. There's certain words like buh. Hear that? Then we have this area. Let's boost it up. It sounds ugly. Alright. I don't like that sound. I like to remove it a little bit. So we do that. And we have the higher frequency. Yeah, this hurts right here. And it doesn't sound good with the mix. So let's hear it. I just want to spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. I just want to spend. That's trash. Even if I put it in the middle. I just want to spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. It's not bad. But once you make it louder, you can hear the difference. So let's leave it here for now. And let's turn on the next one. It's a multi-band compressor. I'll do an episode on this dedicated to that. A few afterwards. But for now, all you gotta know is basically kind of like an EQ compressor. Right? So let's turn it on. Hello. I made it a little louder. So here, boost it up a little bit. I reduced a little bit at the high end. But I'm compressing the vocals. There's some weird magic going on here. Alright. So now, sounds a little weird. Sounds like I got too much of this area. I just wanna spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of. I don't like that. Sounds weird. So I lower it a little bit. I just wanna spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. I just wanna spend like 1 night. Kind of gets rid of it a little bit. Just a little bit, you know. Then you just say, I just wanna spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. I just wanna spend. Alright, if you listen to that right now, it sounds plain. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. But with the beat, I just wanna spend like 1 night. It's not there yet. So let's turn on reverb. I just wanna spend like 1 night. A little better. Still a bit sounds a little bassy in there. Sounds delay. I just wanna spend like 1 night. Oh, that you ain't scared of the highs. Turn the flanger. I don't know what's going on with my delay. It might have left it like that, but the flanger also adds a little bit of width, more frequencies into the vocal. Let's hear it. So this was the on and the off. And use the beat. Use the delay too. I hope you like the view, baby. This ain't even close to your beauty, baby. Has a little bit more harmonics, you could say. Then it was a doubler. We're adding even more harmonics. So let's listen to this. It's very noticeable, but always I just want to spend. If I overdo it, you guys can hear it. You ain't scared of the highs. I hope you like the. add a little bit more width, a little bit more harmonies into it, because in there, you have a little bit of extra detailing on there. That's a little advanced for you guys. That's not what this episode's about. It's about EQ. Oh, with everything together and the EQ set right, and using something like an EQ, we can get it sounding good like this. Alright, so the main point that I want you to get out of this video is figure out what your vocal needs. If you don't know that, don't overcomplicate yourself with EQs like this. In my personal opinion, for you guys to get a more cleaner take, start with this. Also, FL Studio has their own EQ. So instead of me using this, I can do something similar. I can literally lower this a little bit, move this up a little bit, make it more sharper like that. And then I can lower this and make it a little wider. I pretty much got the same thing. Simple. I don't have to overthink it. It's like, oh, I got this. Oh, where do I put this? Where do I put this? You know, do I make it wider, shorter, skinnier, or fatter? What do I do? You know what I'm saying? Too much thinking. You don't want that. Especially as an artist and yourself mixing, you don't want that. You have something where you're like, okay, well, I removed too much bass. Bring that up. Oh, this part still sounds weird. There you go. Not sharp enough. There you go. If you want to make this thing sound sharper, you can do something like this, or I believe you can get like something like fresh air. This is kind of like the EQ. If I put it on the master, I'll show you guys what that sounds like. That's how we're doing it. Alright, so at the sharp, if I do this side, a little bit. Barely hear it, but it kind of comes through a little bit more. Now I really do it because I don't like it for the master, but it can be good sometimes. So basically, you see, it's simple. Start with this, remove the lows, maybe boost the high, reduce the highs, depending on your microphone, depending on the song. All right, and then you can do the same thing here with the EQ like this. If you don't have an EQ like this, FL Studio actually has fully parametric EQ, not EQ2, because it'll give you something like this. You don't want that. Look for the fully parametric EQ only. And if you can do this one, it's kind of like this one. It's just, instead of sliders like this, you're boosting it up like this. Instead of boosting it up like this, you're boosting it up like this. If you need to make it skinnier, all right, let's see. Boost this up, make it skinnier through here, the smaller knobs. If you need to move it, which is this knob, you can move it through these knobs. After you can keep it simple, that way you don't have to worry about like moving it yourself, like, right? You don't have to worry about that. All you have to worry about is up or down. And if it's up or down, how tight or where is it gonna go? All right, a little easier, I think, in my opinion, but it's up to you guys on how you guys want to mix. How to get, now I have a feeling a lot of you guys are still a little bit confused. How do I make sure my mix sounds good? How should I EQ it? To be honest, this episode of EQ, you can't cover that. It will take a whole dedicated series on how to EQ certain songs. All you have to do is use your ears. All right, a good trick that I can tell you, put it on solo. You guys don't know what that is? See, like the left side is changing from the right side a little bit. You can hear my headphones. But if I put this on solo, which is to the right, both sides are the same volume. There's no distinguish between left and right. Both are mono. This is what you call mono. And you look at it, the audio isn't going left and right. So with that, if your music sounds good in mono, it should sound good in stereo. If it doesn't, you need to compensate. There's probably a little bit of phasing. All this phasing, basically, all you gotta know, something weird going on with your audio, and it's not sounding right. So, if it sounds good in mono, and most likely you're good. Alright, so that's how you can EQ. So let's say, if I do this, it doesn't sound good. And if I mix it here, this doesn't sound good. So I will tweak it to here. It's okay, I can lower a little bit more. What's this? Sounds over here. Let's over that. Let's overdo it, let's see. That's a little too much, so let's bring it back. Alright, we're running to lower this even a little bit. Alright. It probably sounds good too. Alright, let's put it back on stereo. Put it back on stereo. And it sounds good. That's a good way. That's a good way to figure out if you're mixing good. Because in stereo, you're dealing with a lot of sounds on the left, right, a lot of sounds. Versus in mono, you're not really dealing with that. You just get to hear it simply, more simplified. And you can choose, okay, does this sound good? Does this not sound good? Does it sound good? Does it not sound good? Also, I forgot to mention, I almost forgot. Thank goodness I remembered. When you EQ, think of it like this. Here's your audio. And it's a little bit inappropriate what I'm about to do. Alright. Let's say this is your bay right here. Alright. Side profile. Trying to make it look nice. Get a little bit of I don't know what color you put for brown. I just put orange. Man, that's not looking good. I don't know, bro. She's a baddie. Alright, she's a baddie. Females, what they had, they got a little bit of this. Alright, chest. So let's say the baddie that you're looking at, chest ginormous, but don't. But her ass is normal. Well, let's say they're pretty fat. Got a pretty fat ass, right? Because her chest is super big, it makes her butt look small. So she's thinking, I make my butt bigger. What is going on here, bro? This is not normal. I would say some people might like that, some people might not, but it's not natural, right? You want your music to sound as natural as you can, unless that's stylistic that you're going for. So what will you do? I'm sorry, shawty, but this gotta go, and we got to reduce this. I just sagging. Bro, I'm trying my best, bro. Like this. Right now, you're like, okay, good proportionate. She got a nice ass slap, you know, ass slap. Got a nice chest, you know, boom, normal. But let's say the other way around, the ass, it's a big old butt. Now her chest looks like nothing. But she's thinking, I gotta get my a boob job, bro. What is this, bro? What is this? This is not normal. You know what I'm saying? What are these representations supposed to be? I probably should explain that before I started drawing. Basically, the chest is the high end, and the bass, well, obviously, it's the bass, the low end. If your song has too much bass, you're thinking you might have to compensate with this. No. One of the things, or your vocals have too much bass. Are you thinking it's not sharp enough? Remember, your vocals is sharp enough. Your high end. But because you have too much low end, it doesn't feel like it. Once you remove a little bit of that low end and reduce it, your vocals will sound more balanced, sharp enough, and low enough so they can fit right with the vocal. Same thing. If your vocals are too sharp and you need a little bit more warmth, low end on your vocal, you're gonna be like, I need to boost the low end. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you have to reduce the high end a little bit, depending on the microphone, depending on what's going on. If you want a good song or good bass, make sure they're balanced. Oh, that's just stylistic. Right? She likes to early her butt out of this, but she want a little bit of this. That's stylistic. That's her choice. That's your choice too. All right. But for something balanced, like I said, make sure they're balanced. All right. So with that being said, you made it to the end of the video. This is your homework. Practice EQing. Try everything out. And with that being said, there's no limits to what you can do. Lock in. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow.